Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for Friday, the 20th of July, 2018. Looks like my hair's a mess. It's unruly, we'll say. How about that? My hair does what it wants, whenever it wants. So I tried to call to get an inspection on my heat pump, but apparently the numbers that they've given me to do that, which I guess I'm not real sure why I have to do that, why the heat pump company doesn't do that themselves. But anyway, I've tried and I can't get through to them. I lack a number, so I have to call these folks back and get a number from them to give these folks. I don't know. Otherwise, I can't get an inspector out to inspect this work. So I don't know what to do other than to call the heat pump company, which I had to do a whole bunch after it went in because the breaker that had to go in wasn't here. It was supposed to have been ordered, but it didn't get ordered. That was clear. And then we got nothing but the runaround from the electrician company, so that they contract with. And so finally it got in a week later. Yeah. And so consequently, now that that's done, you have to call for an inspection just so they can make sure. See, the last time, 21 years ago, when we had a heat pump put in, it was the same company, same electric company that came and did the electrical on it. Heat pump places don't do their own electrical, evidently. And so they contract with local electrician companies in the area, and this was the one that they contracted with. Well, it's also the one that was out this time. And back then, see, their work didn't pass inspection. And so the guy had to come back, and he was not in a good mood. So it was not, I just, you got to give people the benefit of the doubt. It could have just been a fluke, They've been in business a long time around here. So, things happen. But to have it happen again, and now I want that inspection because I want to know if there's anything that was done wrong, like it was done 21 years ago. I mean, they wouldn't even let me turn that thing on 21 years ago till whatever the electrician did wrong was fixed. So in this case, apparently it's just our breaker was bigger. It was a 90 and it needs to be an 80 or some such thing. So they're stepping it down. But the state wants, things to match. So that's why you have to do it. So this time we didn't have to not use the system, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It was odd because last time when they came and put it in 21 years ago, the inspector was there that day. They called them. I didn't have to do a thing. So I'm not real clear on why I have to do that. Now, maybe things have changed and the homeowner has to do it. I always thought it was the contractor, but maybe not. It's not like we have stuff done all the time, so I don't know. But after I'm done here, I'm going to give them a call and hopefully we can get a number so I can get an inspector out here because I really want him to look at it now. But in fairness, it's working well. And we're really happy to not have to go through, triple digit heat in this house with no air conditioning. So anyhow, so there's a silver lining always. Let's count 13 and see what we have for today. For those of you who don't know the significance of 13, I was born on the 13th. 13 figures prominently in my life. And I got another court card. This time we had the Knight of Cups yesterday. This time it's the Page of Cups. So pages are about, it can mean a seeker, a student, a news bearer. It can mean, new news that's coming. You're going to get a message. Being cups, that's your emotional presence. And so, you've got a romantic, and see, it's a cup of Pisces because there's a fish coming out of his chalice there. Look at that. There's some blue that we're looking at. I think that they're lilies. I'm never sure what these flowers are. It's either a lily, I think they're lilies, but they're orange. Yeah, the pages are also called princesses in other decks, in Crowley's deck and other decks like his, the non-traditional ones. They use princess instead of page, which I actually like better. But the page is always, you know, the person who brings the news. But when we're talking about the cups, we're talking about imagination and inspiration and emotion. These are people who seem to have intuition that just flows with them. So it can also, though, mean the birth of a child. So depend in a reading where, but not when you have just one card. Well, I mean, it could, but if you had, you know, a multi-card reading, depending on what else was there, it might actually, if there was some cards, you know, indicating fertility or whatever, then you might actually have the indication of maybe a pregnancy or a child that's about to be born. But a lot of the time, what you see with a page is undeveloped potential. So we have, you know, which is always existent within us, isn't it? You know, there's always this undeveloped potential within. But as always, because it's a court card and they're goofy, it can either mean the qualities possessed by this individual, or it can mean an individual, you know, that there's a young individual in your life, you know, that has some news for you. Maybe you're going to get a phone call today from one of your kids or something. I don't know what that's like because they don't call me, so. So who knows? Maybe I'm going to get a call. That would be a first, wouldn't it? Oh, well, we have Kenaz, and we've seen this one before. It's the torch. And it is, which one is it? It is number 6, meaning harmony and balance and the sacred layer of self also. So higher self energies. And really, when you're talking about Kenaz, you're talking about enlightenment. So it is in keeping with the idea of maybe a message today. So maybe we're going to get some news today that's somewhat enlightening, that might explain some things or light our way, illuminate something that we weren't clear on before. It's kind of interesting because lately the runes have really been in synchronicity with the cards, which is I just find fascinating. Sometimes, you know, you kind of look at them and go, well, huh, what do those two have to do with one another? But lately, that's not been the case. I mean, when you have a card that means a message, and you have Kenaz, which is, you know, light and, you know, revealing secrets, and when this is about intuition, and so is this. See, there's synchronicity there, isn't there? But basically, Kenaz represents the witch's power to know. There's a thing called well, it's called different things. There's the 4 pillars, there's the witch's pyramid, whatever you want to call it. It's to know, to will, to dare, to keep silence. I think that's the order it goes in. But this is to know. You know, sometimes things happen that we don't understand. Sometimes circumstances are such that are happening in our lives that we really just don't understand what's going on. So collectively, you know, on a societal level, we're experiencing that, where we really don't know what's going on in the world. We think we do, we thought we did, but then everything changed on Monday, didn't it? When a lot of things became clear. So maybe, you know, it's Friday, maybe there'll be some information that we get with respect to what's going on, you know, in our country. But if it's on a personal level, you know, I feel like something's going to be revealed here. Maybe something that you've not understood that's been happening in your life. Maybe you're going to get, particularly given the page, some of it may not be direct, although a page can mean a direct message. There's also intuition because it's cups, and so, and also because of Kenaz, it's also intuition. So maybe some of this you'll have to put together on your own, drawing from your own knowing. So be open, be aware, be ready, because I think that something is about to be revealed, either today or in the coming days. When Kenaz appears, and when it's coupled with a page or a princess card, things aren't what they seem to be. Maybe something that you feel is hurtful, maybe really isn't. Maybe things are fine, you think, and they really aren't. I mean, it can be either way, right? But be aware and be open and be ready for whatever message that's going to come through here. Kenaz is also known as the Rune of Openings. So be open to whatever message is coming today. Don't be so quick to make a decision about it. Let it gel. Take some time with it before reacting. Gather the facts. Be sure of the facts, if you can possibly be sure of the facts. Not everybody tells the truth. And so sometimes you have to use your sense about you, your intuitive sense, your empathic sense, to understand what's really going on. I tend not to listen so much to words from people. I just listen to their resonance. I find that people's, what they say generally does not reflect what they feel or believe a lot of the time. Sometimes they say what they say just to get out of the moment, or maybe they don't want to tell you what's really on their minds, but somehow or another deception is there. When it's just privacy, well, it's just privacy. You just got to let people be private. I mean, you're not entitled to know everything. But at the same time, when you need to know something and you're supposed to know it and you deserve the truth, don't you? Sometimes people aren't willing to give that to you. And so clearly today, what the Rune and the Tarot card are telling us is that we're going to be given some clarity, but we might also have to participate in that. It's not necessarily going to be handed to us. Although it might be, it could be from a messenger, from a news source, from, I know some people think it's all fake news, people that say bad things about, that tell the truth, that give the news stories about what's going on, that makes it all fake news because it's not in support of the guy in the White House. Well, no. What are you going to do if when you find out you're wrong and they never said a word? Then what are you going to say? Then, oh yeah, then they're terrible people because they didn't tell us, right? So let's give them a little bit of a break and hear them out. See what they have to say. Check it out, Look around, other sources, do some research of your own. Let it gel. See if what is actually being said resonates. And then, then you'll know, won't you? So we have some enlightenment for today, maybe for the next few days, because we've got the weekend coming up. And hopefully we'll come back on Monday and see what was revealed to us, all right? So if you like, head over to my blog, Stepping Aside, and check out that geomancy deal I did. That was fun. I also post these on there. So these videos I post on there as well. Oh, and I haven't talked about this in a little while. There's a new social media platform called OnStellar. And it's kind of like UFO community stuff, but it isn't just that. And it's just talking about our world in maybe a way or giving people a place to talk about our world in a way that maybe is not mainstream. So it's a nice place. It's not a place where people are nasty or make bad. I've not heard of anything like that. It just seems to be a different type of a community. Yeah, a lot of it's UFO based. If you believe that, I do. So you can find out a lot about that. There's some cannabis stuff on there, for healing. There's a lot of meditation stuff. There's just all kinds of folks that have decided to head over to On Stellar. It's just a fun place, and so I highly recommend it. I'm over there. I've been over there. I didn't go right away. I kind of looked around to see, is it going to really be okay? I mean, but it is, and it's a lot of fun. So I highly recommend it. Go over there, check it out, and join. And then, send me a friend request. I'll accept it. It's great. They're just great people on that site. So anyway, there's that. There's the blog Stepping Aside. Let's see what else. There's the Facebook page on Step for Stepping Aside. You can go and look at that. But by all means, get out this weekend. It's supposed to be really nice here this weekend, a little bit cooler, I think either today or tomorrow. I think we're going to get a reprieve to like in the 80s, and then it goes right back up to in the 90s. And so, that's just the way that is in Central Oregon in the summertime. It gets really, really hot here. So anyway, I guess that's it for today, and we'll see you on Monday. And thanks so much for watching. Blessed be.